Hey, my peoples. I know it's been a long time since I had a live on YouTube, right? So I'm just going to tell you my story on here because I was trying to actually record a video for you guys, and my phone ran out of storage and all that good stuff and all that good jazz. So yeah, I just decided to go live. Excuse me, I am eating and drinking some broth from some soup, but I have not told this story, and I wanted to start a series here on my channel. Y'all like my hair? Yeah, this is a wig that I did a real review on, so stay tuned. It's coming for you. It's coming for you. But shameless plug. um, this is something that has literally been kind of tugging on me a little bit in my spirit to teach somebody about or to tell my story so it can help someone else. I don't know who this is for. I really don't care. Um, but I am going to go ahead and say it anyway and do it anyway. So if you are looking for a resource, this would be the video to watch. So here goes. All right. Um, I have been struggling with a separation, and now I'm on my way to divorce in the middle of trying to build my business, in the middle of trying to make myself be a better mother, make myself be a better person. I have now fallen over the past year in my drive for my business up until just recently. And that is because a year ago, last month, made a year, and I shared this on my Facebook. Hey, for those people that have come in. Um, I was cheated on about a year ago, and my ex husband made a baby and abandoned myself and my four children. I don't know where he is. I don't care to know where he's at. But this story is literally to help the next woman, especially the next businesswoman, be able to bounce back in the middle of depression. Um, I just recently, about 4 months ago, was diagnosed with depression and anxiety to the fullest extent, to where I was having anxiety attacks every day, almost every 30 minutes to an hour. I literally was hospitalized from it. I was also um, at the state where someone was going to take my children because I just could not. Um, I could not come out of the state that I was in. I'm trying not to cry, Jesus. I could not come out of the state that I was in. And so it wasn't until my children were threatened to be taken away from me, and more in specific, the child that him and I have together, um, that I decided that I had to do something and I had to do something quick. And at that moment in time in my life, it seemed like every friend of mine was either tired of hearing me talk about it, or they were only worried about talking about themselves, or they were just trying to get business information out of me. Um, or they were my family, and my family felt like they were tired of hearing about it, just bounce back and come out of it already. And so I felt like I was the only one that literally was going to help myself. Um, I'm so sorry. This is hard for me. Um, just give you a little background. My ex-husband and I were friends in middle school, and we never went down the road of a romantic relationship or anything like that until we were in our adulthood, and I was pregnant with my son. I was 8 months pregnant with my oldest boy from a different relationship. And so we ended up getting married in 2014, after I had had my son, 2015, I had my son in 2014 with him and I. And we just grew this amazing friendship, I think. And we became more friends than anything. And so that's why when he walked out on us, I think that was the hardest part, because I felt like I had lost my best friend. I felt like I had lost everything that I knew of a male friend. And I think that the fact that he never gave me answers, he never gave me answers on why I wasn't good enough. And that was what messed with me the most is I struggled all my life. I've struggled with feeling like I'm good enough. It's not so much that he left, it's not so much that he cheated, it's not so much that he made the baby, it's not so much that he didn't want to be with me anymore. It was me. And I was more embarrassed to tell the world that I done been cheated on. Now there's a baby being made. Now there is something brought up of a drug issue. Um, there's all these things and that I won't really go into detail about because that's not what this video is about. But there was all these things that were messing with my mind to the point where I didn't care about my kids. I didn't care. I didn't care about what they was going through. I didn't care that if they lost me, you know, they would go in the system. All I cared about was getting revenge at that point. And so I remember the turning point in my whole situation was I went to his job. I had a bad night with the situation. I couldn't sleep and all of that in my depression. And I had went to his job. And I sat outside his job and my mind was saying, when he come out this job, I'm gonna run him over. I'm gonna kill him. Because I needed him to have pain like I had had pain. I needed him to hurt like I had hurt. I needed him to be a vegetable, pretty much, like I had been a vegetable. And at that moment, I wasn't thinking about no God. I wasn't thinking about no kids. I wasn't thinking about anything. And a friend of mine, a really good friend of mine, she called me. And she said, what are you doing? And I said, oh, I'm sitting here outside of my husband's job. And she said, your husband's job? Why? And I said, oh, I'm just sitting here. I just want to talk to him. And she said, no, Bree, you need to leave, and you need to leave now. I wouldn't leave. And then sitting there, the police ended up pulling up behind me because of the way that I was parked. And I was not able to continue talking to my friend because she was like, I'm not getting off the phone with you until you leave. I need to know that you're safe. I need to know that you're in a good predicament. I need to know all of that, so I'm not getting off the phone with you. And even in my suicidal thoughts that I had in this process and all of that, this same friend had always been there. And see, what's so funny is this is a friend that had just been a friend of mine for a short period of time that God had placed into my life at a place where I was attending church. You know, it was not a childhood friend. It was not one that had been friends with me for years or even a family member. It was that one person. And I ended up having to get off the phone with her. And I guess she must have gotten nervous because she had tried to call me and I wasn't able to talk because I was talking to the police officer. And so she called my first lady. That's right, she told on me. She called my first lady and I don't know what she must have said to my first lady. I never asked her. Even to this day, I don't ask. We don't talk about it. But the next thing I know, my first lady started calling me. My first lady inboxed me on Facebook. And she said, I love you. I love you. And I would be devastated if something happened to you. I need you to call me now. I still was being disobedient. I didn't call. I was like, I ain't calling her. When he come outside, now listen, I had been sitting outside about 45 minutes. When he come outside, it's on, right? When he come outside, you know when you get angry, that's how you do. When he come outside, it's on and popping. I could care less about what they talking about. So something said, call her. Call her. She won't be angry. She won't be upset. Call her. And also, my first lady is my mom's best friend. So I was thinking, I don't want this lady to call my mama. That's the last person I want her to call. So my first lady ends up, I called her back and she says to me, where are you? And I was honest with her and I told her where I was at. And she said, come to my house. I wouldn't go to her house. So she ended up coming to me. She found where I was at. She said, I need you to follow me home. So what do you do when your leader or your mother or the person that you consider like a motherly figure tells you to do something? You know, you're like, what do I do? Yeah, I know, you know, I'm mad or I'm angry, but right now I'm going to go ahead and be obedient. So I follow her home and her and I talk. And we talked and we talked and we talked and she's crying. And she's like, what were you really going to do? And why were you going to do that? Baby, I need you to win. I need you to win in a different way, though. Not like that. That's not how you do it. And I was like, but it sure make me feel better, you know. I'm coming at it with the, yeah, but whatever, rolling my neck. And she says, no, it would make me feel better if you win in a different way. When she told me to win in a different way, that was what did it for me. And the different way that she said is, you win by being successful. So, what am I telling you? What am I telling you in telling this story? I'm telling you that the only way to win and get yourself out of the state that you're in, the only way to get yourself out of this depression, the only way to get you from having anxiety attacks is two things. One, giving your life to Christ and giving Him the situation that has caused you to get in this state, because you cannot control it. Because I thought that I could control Him and I thought I could control the situation. I thought that all I had to do was just be the best wife ever, right? And so I thought, okay, well, if I cook, if I clean, if I, be at home a little bit more, he would stop cheating. If I would do all these things, and none of those things changed. And it was not until I began to give God the situation that He told me that I had to leave Him alone. I had to. I had to leave Him and the situation alone. I had to leave it in the mess that it was in the swamp that it was in. Because if not, it had my mental. And my mental was, I was literally going crazy. Literally going crazy. To the point where my 11-year-old was taking care of my kids. She was literally the best child I have ever ran across. She fed them. She made sure they got up for school. She made sure their clothes was out the night before, even in the midst of hers, because my oldest daughter has some issues within herself with ADHD and some different behavior issues. So she made sure that her grades was up, but she was literally my blessing in disguise. She was literally my blessing in disguise. And so what I'm telling you is keep God first. Give God the situation. Whatever it is that has you down and out, whatever it is that has you depressed, you keep God first and you give that situation to Him, because He's the only one that can control it. And you want to give that to Him on a consistent basis. Every time it comes in your mind, begin to cry out to God. Every time that it hits your mind, put it on a piece of paper and put that up on your wall and pray about that. Write it on your mirror, whatever it is, to give you a visual to let that thing go. You need a visual reminder to let that thing go. Do not let that thing harvest inside of you, because the more it harvests inside of you, the more that whatever you think about grows. Right? So if you're thinking about that thing on a consistent basis, it's going to grow and it's going to change to turn out for the worst rather than for the best. And the other thing that I can tell you is the same thing that my first lady told me. You win by being successful. I'm going to repeat that again. You win by being successful. Okay? So the only way that you're going to be able to be successful, baby, is to get your mind off of that thing and get your mind focused on your goals and what you want to accomplish. I remember telling my first lady what that was for me. What that was for me was I wanted to be a makeup artist first and foremost. We all knew that. But I didn't just want to be a makeup artist. I wanted to be a makeup artist that was doing a different type of celebrities. Because see, most of the time, makeup artists just want to do celebrities makeup, or makeup artists just want to be creative. And it's not about the creativity with me. It's about literally doing my craft in real time. And so I told her that I wanted to be able to be known from people that attend the Stella Awards. And if I was going to be doing any celebrities, that was the celebrities that I wanted to do. But I wanted to be known for what I did in my community. What I did in my community, how I helped others in my community. And especially my community of people, of mothers that are just like myself. I have 4 kids. And right now, literally to get myself out of the position that I'm in right now, I'm working 4 jobs. I've got my business, now 5, because I just went to an interview today, okay? So now that means something's got to go, right? But I have my business, I have Uber, I have Lyft, I have Amazon, and now I have this 5th job where I have now just got hired as a manager. And actually another job is I also am a online consultant. So there's all these different things and all these different ideas that begin to flow to me, and I just needed to be able to let something go. Whereas just a year, this time last year, I was not like this at all. I couldn't even see myself getting to this point. And I took those words that she told me and I put those things on my mirror. And I said every day to myself, you're going to win. Win by being successful. I have on my mirror, hey, gorgeous, today, win by being successful. So that's how you come out of a rut in a time that is so pertinent to you. Is you're literally going to have to win by being successful and keeping God first, and give him, by all means, give him everything in your life that's a problem. Give him everything in your life that you're having an issue with. Give him everything. Lay it at his feet, because he is the only one that can heal it. He is the only one that can save it. He is the only one that can make a way from that. Okay, so that's the best advice that I can give you. And in this time, let me tell you guys some of the things, and I'm gonna put my broth down. Let me tell you guys some of the things that I have achieved just in this year. Um, we were, my children and I, at a state where we got put out of our house. And it was not because of anything that we had done. It's just that right now, the housing market here in Vegas is kind of not good. And that is because they're bringing the Raiders here. And so it's saturated now. Everybody is trying to move to Vegas. So all of these property owners are wanting to keep their properties. They're not wanting to really rent them. So we basically were giving myself and my kids 30 days. Now, 30 days with no money, though. No money. Like, we literally had nothing financially. And so I'm like, what do you mean 30 days? I'm not going to be able to come up with no deposit in no 30 days. I'm not going to be able to do none of that. Like, what do you mean? And so I remember calling my friends like, what am I going to do? And one of my friends said, have you asked God what you're going to do? And then I got mad. I'm like, I'm so tired of people telling me that. I am so sick of everybody bringing up God, right? But they were doing that because he had been using them as a vessel to tell me to hit my knees. And I began to pray and I asked God, I said, Lord, I don't have it right now, but I need you to make a way. I need you to make a miracle because I can't find anywhere to live. We've got to be out of here in 30 days. So literally on my 20th day, 20th of being in this house, and I had already begun to pack because a friend of mine told me, just go ahead and start packing now. Start packing now because you know you got to be out. So I began to pack my stuff up and I ended up finding my new home, which is where I'm sitting at now. And it is amazing. I love it. And it's all because I stopped going to friends and I started building my prayer platform with the Lord, or not platform, but I started getting on my knees and praying and asking God and letting him be my forefront. And so when you're in the midst of a storm as far as a separation or a divorce, I need for you to not jump into another relationship. I know that because I tried that, did that, been there, done that, didn't work for me. I need you not to do that. I need you to give God your life. Give God your life. Date God. Spend some time with God. Build that up with God, because he'll begin to make things here a lot easier and a lot better. He will give you the clarity that you need in your mind in order to push to the next level. Okay? And I'm not saying I have all the answers. I'm not saying that I haven't had days since this happened where, you know, I'm still in my feelings or I'm still upset or I'm still angry. I absolutely have those days. But what I do know is every time those thoughts come in my mind, I'm able to bounce back from it and I'm able to say, all right, God, what is it that you're trying to tell me here? And we have these talks most of the time in my car or when my kids are at school and I'm at home. But I am so thankful to have him in my life as my forefront. I am so thankful to have him as my ultimate source, because he will give you, each and every last one of you, your supply, I promise you. But what you have to give him is a demand. And what I mean is you have to let him know what it is that you want him to change, flip, turn around, make better, all of that. You have to give that to God so that he can make you shift into a next dimension in your life and make your mindset shift to where you're no longer stressing about that thing and you're working on that thing. Okay? I know, because I'm working on my truth. I am working on me. And that's all I can do. All I can do is work on me. And for those people that have children, you can't do anything for your children unless you're right. I repeat that again. In this process, I need you to get you right so that them kids can be right, or that one child can be right, or however many it is that you have. I don't care if you have 10. You are not going to be able to do anything for your children, provide for them, or anything else unless you get yourself together. Stop worrying about if the man is gonna come. Stop worrying about it, where he is or where he went to or any of that. When is the new one gonna come? And start worrying about putting yourself into a position where you're the best wife that you could be before that man even hits your life. Because I know that a lot of our goals, I know that's what it was for me, was to be a wife, right? Um, and especially for those that are followers and believers of Christ, we literally always want to, be married. We don't want to be by ourselves. You know what I mean? Or at least that's what I know of it, is that that's not our ultimate goal, is to be single. Okay? So I know that you want a relationship, but right now just it's not the time. Especially if you're broken, especially if you're confused and you don't know what is going on. Right now, you really, really need to tap into your inner and start working on your inner so that your outer can be better. Okay. um I've had many of days where my face is on, or so I thought, but deep down inside I'm cracked up, I'm toe up from the flow up, I'm all over the place, I'm all of that. And I say that without having God as my foundation and without having something to look forward to that I had written down, I know not where my destiny is. Okay. So I will say this to you. Um, I don't want to keep you long, but I will say, if you are down and out, if you are feeling just depressed and you're broken, and if your situation kind of matches mine, I want you to comment in the bottom. Okay. I want you to comment in the bottom and tell me what is going on so that I can help you the best that I can, especially those women out there that are my beauty professionals, my makeup artists, or anything like that. But I want you to understand that you have an outlet. You have an outlet. In everything that you're going through, you have an outlet. But you're the only one that can tap into that outlet. No one else can do it for you. So that is pretty much what my advice is going to be for you on today. I'm going to do one more thing before I get out of here. And I'm going to kind of do this a little bit differently than what I usually do. I'm going to call my daughter downstairs because I'm at home and we're in real time and we're on live. And I'm going to let her tell you what this breakup has been for her. Okay? So that you can know that it does affect the children. And so, knowing that it affects the children, you have to be the best that you can be as a mother to those children. Okay? So, give me a second. Let me call her downstairs. Isaiah. Yeah. Come here, baby. She's coming. And I'm going to move over so she can sit and be in the view. Come here. Take the thing off your head first. She's something else. Come sit right here. Come over. All right, look up. What you got in your mouth? Okay. This is my oldest baby, Isaiah. This is my 11-year-old that I was talking about. See the resemblance? She get her good looks from her mama. She can't stand when I do that. But anyways, this is my oldest daughter, Isaiah. And I'm going to let Isaiah tell you how the past year has been for her. And this is real time. This is literally her feelings. She's never done this before. She did not know I was going to do this, but it was on my heart to do this because I need for us as mothers to understand. Okay? Understand. So, without further ado, Isaiah, tell how it's been since Kashif has been gone.
It's been... What is that on the...
Look up and pay attention.
It's been better.
It's been better?
Mm-hmm.
So why has it been better?
Because now I'm getting my grades up. I might have been missing a lot of assignments, but I'm still getting my grades up, and it was better because she wasn't there, because I would get a lot in trouble for every time I didn't get my grades up, I'll get in trouble with it. And since he's been gone, I've been getting my grades up, because the last time I got my progress report, I didn't get in trouble. The only problem was my computer class. I got an F in that classroom, and other classrooms are getting good. I think, an A in a science class. Yeah, I got, um,
So why do you work so hard for your grades?
because I have to try to help out with my mom because my mom been gone.
I can't hear you.
Because my mom been gone,
Mm-hmm.
and my mom needs help and stuff when she works. I must be asleep or up, and when she go work, I help. When she's gone, I babysit, and yeah, my brothers and my sister are getting better with being on their best behavior when my mom's not here. When I first started, they wasn't listening and stuff. Now they're getting better and better.
Better and better. And do you think that you were hurt in the beginning when Kashif left? No, you were happy.
Not really, but I was sad at the same time.
And what was that?
When when he told me he would be right back, but he never came back.
Hmm.
Cause when we was in the store, we had to buy my mom something. He bought me something, and then he told my mom, he told me to tell my mom, cause my mom was doing my sister's hair, and he told me to go tell my mom that he would be right back. He wanted to go with one of his coworkers, and he never came back.
And so, how did you feel when he never came back?
I got worried something happened, cause I'm a whiny baby. When my mom's not there and I don't have my phone, I get scared and scared.
Mm-hmm.
I think something happens.
So you thought something had happened to him?
Mm-hmm.
So when you found out that it hadn't happened to him, nothing happened to him. How did it make you feel seeing me broken?
Um, Sad this time. Very sad because my mom was crying. She literally stayed in the bed. She couldn't get up. I had to help her out. She didn't even go to work for a couple days. That's why. So she stayed home. And that's it.
That's it. Okay, so as you guys can see, and I'm about to cry. As you guys can see, something that traumatic can also affect the kids as well. So you have to make sure that you are mentally ready and in the capacity to live on purpose. And that's what this video is about, is you have to live on purpose. Okay, so that's how you can bounce back. And I want to thank Azaya for being completely honest and being transparent. As you guys know, she is not a video person. I've never brought her on video, but I thought that it was necessary to kind of help out with the video to put us as women into a different perspective. Okay, so if my baby can bounce back from it, yours can too. All you have to do is make sure that you believe in not only your child, but believe in yourself, that you can do it. Put a plan together. And that's what commenting down below is about. Also, you can also go over to my Facebook group, Primp My Praise. That's PRIMP, all capitals with periods in between. My Praise, like praise and worship. And that group is a humongous resource for not only yourself but me and other women as well, where you can get help for whatever the situation is. You can get help there in Print My Praise, and you can tell your story if you want to. We also tap in Vegas on Vegas time at 6 a.m. in the morning for prayer and at 9:30 at night for prayer. We pray for each and every last one of the people that tune in. Whether you give us a name or not, doesn't matter. We don't care about that. All we care about is saving the souls and making it be a resource for the women. I want you to be able to get every resource that you possibly can, okay? Whether you're sitting in my chair or not, I want you to be able to know that whatever you're going through, it's not the end. Whatever the separation reason is that he leaves you or she, whoever, because let's be real, it could be she or he, it's not the end of the world. But you have to know that the love for yourself is never going to be more important than the love that you have for somebody else. Okay? So you have to love yourself so that these ones are okay, right? And upon everything else, always, as I've said in the beginning, keep God first, okay? All right, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. We thank you for tuning in with us today. We love on you guys. You guys have a blessed and an awesome day, okay?